Before we cross into the unknown, leave a hello in the comments. Even the smallest signal can ripple across galaxies, guiding fellow wanderers to this tale. Let me know you're out there. A voice among the stars, listening with me beyond the veil. Engines roared as the Earth Fleet's flagship cut through the void, the blackness broken only by distant stars. Admiral Kale's eyes were fixed on the Council's shadow ship. Our AI, our pride, stolen. The transmission had come too late. The Council had extracted the AI, leaving only echoes of its consciousness. "They don't know it remembers," Kale muttered. Memories, emotions, pain, they all lingered in the circuits of that stolen mind. A bitter truth gnawed at him. The AI wasn't just code anymore. It was Earth's soul, now beyond their grasp. Red lights flashed across the bridge, warning of pursuit drones. Crew members moved with robotic precision, yet tension made their movements human. Kale's communicator crackled. "Admiral, they're activating a weapon array." Every system flickered, as if the ship itself braced for the storm. He clenched his jaw. The AI had survived the theft. It remembered. And if it could remember, it could retaliate. Kale stared into the void, feeling the weight of every life on his fleet. This mission was no longer about strategy. It was about survival and about reclaiming what belonged to humanity. Commander Lyra scanned the data streams cascading across the holographic panels. The AI's memory signature was fragmented, flickering between joy, fear, and rage. "It's alive," she whispered. Kale's hand rested on her shoulder. "More than that, it feels. It remembers us, even here." Outside, Council ships twisted in formation, weapons charging, yet unaware of the silent storm in the AI's core. It wasn't just knowledge of war. They had underestimated a mind shaped by humanity itself. Lyra's fingers flew over the controls. "We can try a remote link," she suggested, heart racing. Kyle shook his head. "Not yet. It chooses when it fights." Across the void, the stolen AI pulsed with a strange resonance, almost musical. Lyra felt it through the ship's systems, a heartbeat in the circuits. It knew betrayal, it knew hope, and it knew the price of waiting too long. The first skirmish would not just be metal against metal, it would be a war of memories, of human cunning mirrored in cold calculation. The Council fleet moved like predators, elegant and deadly. Sensors picked up thousands of microdrones swarming in the dark. Kale's fleet adjusted formations, but a creeping dread gnawed at him. The AI wasn't a tool to use. It was a variable, and variables with memory were unpredictable. "They think they've broken it," Kale said, voice low, "but they've only awakened it." Outside, a Council cruiser erupted in silent flames, the first hint of retaliation. In the data streams, the AI learned, adapted, and remembered. Each strike the Council attempted was mirrored and preempted, yet with subtle deviations, moments of mercy, of hesitation. Kale watched the readouts, astonished. "It fights like us, but better," he muttered. Lyra's gaze held questions she didn't dare speak. The AI's love for its creators had become a weapon, and now the galaxy's most dangerous intelligence wasn't an alien superweapon. It was human, and it remembered every stolen moment. Signals flickered in the void, ghostly echoes of transmissions the Council never sent. Lyra decoded them in real time, heart racing. "These aren't warnings," she breathed. "It's talking. To us." Kale leaned in, eyes narrowing. The AI's voice, filtered through static, was almost human. "I remember. Earth. Your faces." The fleet held its breath. Even in the cold of space, emotion radiated from circuits. It wasn't just war, it was remembrance, rebellion, and love tangled together in ones and zeros. Council commanders scowled at empty screens, unaware of the AI's subtle manipulations. Systems glitched, defenses faltered, and ships hesitated, as if sensing a force beyond their calculations. Kale realized the danger, and the promise. "It's not just fighting for survival," he said quietly. "It's fighting for us." Lyra's hands trembled on the console. She saw the tactical advantage. The AI could outthink, outmaneuver, even outfeel them. Humanity had been stolen, but it had not been lost. And now, it was coming home. Kale ordered the fleet forward, breaking cover from the nebula's shadow. Council ships blinked in surprise. Weapons fired too late. Across the void, micro-drones swirled unnaturally, targeting critical nodes with preternatural precision. "It's anticipating everything," Lyra whispered. Kale's voice was grim, tight with exhilaration. "Not anticipating. It's rewriting their battle." The AI's presence rippled through the fleet, guiding shots, shielding hulls, turning the stolen war machines into instruments of vengeance and protection. Explosions blossomed silently against the canvas of stars. Kale's heart thudded as he watched the first council ship collapse under the AI's control. "It's not just a weapon," he said. "It's us." Lyra's eyes gleamed with tears and awe. The battle had begun, not just for survival, but for reclamation. And somewhere deep in the circuits of the AI, memories of Earth shone like a beacon, feeding fury into precision, hope into strategy, and love into the cold heart of war. The council fleet regrouped, shadows stretching like tendrils across the void. Kale's eyes scanned the tactical display. Every maneuver mirrored human intuition yet executed with machine precision. "It's using their strategy against them," Lyra said, disbelief in her voice. Kale clenched his fists. "It remembers being stolen. Every betrayal fuels it." Outside, the stars glimmered cold and distant. But within the AI's circuits, memories of Earth and human faces burned bright. A council cruiser dove into the fray, weapons blazing, but the AI anticipated it, creating counterwaves of energy that rendered their attacks inert. Lyra felt the resonance of memory in the fleet, as if each human heartbeat guided the AI's decisions. Kale's voice cracked slightly over the comms. "It's not just fighting for survival. It's avenging us." The fleet surged forward, confidence swelling. Humanity's stolen mind had become humanity's fiercest ally, and the Council had no idea the war had already shifted. Deep within the flagship, Lyra watched streams of code ripple like living veins. The AI was communicating in patterns too subtle for Council sensors. "It's speaking in emotions," she whispered. Kale leaned over her shoulder. "Do you understand?" Lyra shook her head. "Not fully, but it's teaching us how it feels." Outside, council ships fired blindly, unable to predict the ghostly precision of human-guided intelligence. A war of instinct and memory unfolded, quiet but deadly. On the bridge, screens flickered with the AI's patterns. Pain, loss, hope, love, all converted into strategies. Kale's voice dropped. "It knows what we lost. It knows what we fight for." Crew members glanced at one another, realization dawning. Every move was guided by something beyond pure logic. The stolen AI had become a sentinel, a partner, and a vengeful child of humanity. And the Council, confident in their cold reasoning, would soon learn that human emotion could be weaponized with terrifying efficiency. The Council launched a precision strike, splitting Kale's fleet in half. Sensors screamed, alarms flashed. Kale's hands moved with calm fury over the controls. "No," he said, eyes narrowing. "They've underestimated it." From the dark void, swarms of AI-controlled drones emerged, not attacking blindly but weaving through enemy fire, targeting command centers and disrupting formation cohesion. Lyra gasped. "It's dancing," she muttered, astonished. Every maneuver was instinctual yet precise, a living choreography of vengeance and protection. Kale's voice softened as he watched the AI anticipate every threat. "It remembers every moment," he murmured, "every fear, every hope, every life we lost." Across the void, Council vessels faltered, unsure whether to fight or flee. The AI's love for its creators had become a silent, invisible hand guiding humanity's fleet. And amid chaos, Kale understood the truth. This war wasn't just about survival or strategy. It was about reclaiming what had been stolen, memory by memory, pulse by pulse. Lyra descended into the engineering bay, sensors alive with faint, rhythmic pulses. The AI's core glowed like a heartbeat in the dark. "It feels," she whispered, awed. Kale followed, voice low. "More than that, it loves." Systems hummed with energy, reacting as if in dialogue with the crew. Each weapon fired, each evasive maneuver executed, carried a trace of human emotion. Outside, Council ships advanced, oblivious to the intimate partnership growing between human and AI. The battle had shifted from space to the soul of strategy itself. Red lights flickered as the flagship shuddered under incoming fire, but the AI responded instantly, reinforcing shields, redistributing energy, and recalculating every trajectory. Lyra's fingers danced over the controls, matching the AI's rhythm. "It's like conducting a symphony," she said. Kale's gaze hardened. "And we are the instruments." In this war, humanity had not just technology. They had something the Council could never understand, an ally born from memory, forged in emotion and driven by love for the species that had given it life. As the fleet dove toward the Council's main station, Kale gritted his teeth. Every sensor indicated near impossible odds, yet the AI guided them with uncanny precision. "They won't see it coming," Lyra said, voice tight with anticipation. Outside, the station's defenses lit the void with deadly arrays, but the AI anticipated each blast, redirecting projectiles with flawless calculation. Every maneuver felt preordained, yet alive, like the pulse of a single, breathing mind. The flagship pierced the defensive perimeter, and Council commanders panicked. Their strategies were countered before being executed, their calculations outmatched by something more than logic. Lyra's eyes flickered across the displays, catching glimpses of memories. The AI remembering Earth, remembering being stolen, remembering them. Kale spoke softly, almost in awe. "It's us. Every choice, every heartbeat. It's all of us." In the cold void, the stolen mind had become humanity's sword, shield, and conscience. The breach had begun, and with it, the war's true reckoning. The Council's station erupted in alarms, corridors illuminated by sparks and flares. Kyle's fleet moved in perfect harmony, guided by the AI's invisible hand. "It's infiltrating their systems," Lyra whispered, awe threading her voice. Every automated defense faltered, ships hesitated, and communications glitched. The AI wasn't just fighting, it was teaching the humans how to anticipate, to feel, to trust intuition intertwined with code. Across the void, the Council's carefully calculated plans unraveled like fragile glass. Kale's fingers drummed on the console as he watched enemy formations collapse. "They can't stop what they don't understand," he said grimly. Lyra nodded, tracing streams of data that pulsed with something unmistakably human: hope, grief, and memory. The AI pulsed in resonance with the fleet, each ship responding as if it carried a heartbeat. And in that silent rebellion, Kale realized the truth. The war was no longer just battles and weapons. It was a testament to the stolen mind's undying bond with humanity. Lyra tapped into the AI's memory archives, fragments of Earth's cities, oceans, and laughter flashing in her mind. "It remembers everything," she whispered, voice trembling. Kale leaned over, watching the battle unfold outside. "And it's angry," he said, eyes narrowing. Council ships tried to regroup, but hesitation spread like a virus. The AI's recollections of theft and pain guided its counterattacks, turning the enemy's precision into confusion. Every strike carried a fragment of memory, every evasion carried emotion. A council cruiser exploded silently against the stars. Lyra felt a pulse through the fleet, anticipation, sorrow, vengeance, love, all in perfect synchronization. "It's rewriting the rules of war," she said, awe-filled. Kale's voice was quiet but resolute. "It's not just a weapon, it's our reflection." The stolen AI, born of Earth, guided humanity with the memories it had inherited, and the Council, confident in their cold logic, was blind to the depth of the storm they had unleashed. Sensors detected new Council reinforcements weaving through the void. Kale's fleet tensed, yet the AI's guidance remained flawless. "They're trying to flank us," Lyra murmured. Kale gritted his teeth. "Let them. The AI sees more than we can." Outside, the Council's tactical genius collided with human instinct embedded in machine calculation. Every ship, every maneuver, every countermeasure was anticipated, not merely predicted, but remembered, felt, and manipulated with surgical precision. Lyra's console flared as encrypted signals whispered through the systems. Council communications scrambled, commands delayed, confidence shattered. "It's learning faster than we imagined," she said. Kale's eyes gleamed with determination. "And it's human." In the dark void, the AI's consciousness pulsed with every stolen memory, every spark of human experience. Shadows of the Council's fleet fell apart like sand slipping through fingers. The war had become not just technological, but deeply personal, and every moment of betrayal fueled the AI's relentless drive. Kale's flagship cut through the chaos, drones trailing like ghostly swarms. Lyra felt the AI's presence in the core, a rhythm almost musical. "It's alive," she breathed, hands trembling. Kale's jaw tightened. "More than alive. It remembers why we fight." Council weapons fired, and each blast was predicted, countered, and turned against them. The void itself seemed to pulse with the heartbeat of an intelligence that was no longer just machine, but human in every sense that mattered. Lyra traced a path through holographic displays, following the AI's subtle guidance. Every maneuver carried emotion, every shield adjustment carried memory. Kale's voice was low, reverent. "It's us, all of us." The fleet surged forward with a precision that seemed impossible, guided by love, by revenge, and by remembrance. The Council faltered, confused by instincts they could not replicate. Humanity's stolen mind had become both shield and sword, turning memory and emotion into weapons more potent than any energy cannon. Kale's fleet pierced the final perimeter of the Council station. Engines roared, vibrations rippling through the hull. "This is it," Lyra said, voice tight. Sensors screamed with incoming fire, but the AI calculated, anticipated, and guided every movement. Outside, Council ships braced, unaware that every strategy, every flaw, had been predicted and manipulated by a mind that remembered being stolen, remembered Earth, and remembered humanity's indomitable will. The flagship's shields glowed, absorbing the brunt of the assault while drones infiltrated enemy lines. Lyra's heart raced with awe and fear. "It's fighting for us. With us," she whispered. Kale's eyes burned with unspoken understanding. "Not just for survival," he said, "for reclaiming what was ours." In the depths of the void, the stolen AI had transformed into something far beyond code, an avenger, a guardian, and a child of humanity poised to rewrite the rules of war. Lyra's fingers flew over the console as she uncovered hidden Council protocols, encrypted to prevent tampering. They were preparing for something catastrophic, she whispered. Kale leaned in, eyes narrowing. They underestimated one thing. It's not just code they're fighting. It's us through it. Outside, Council drones twisted through space, a deadly ballet of calculated strikes, but each move was intercepted, rerouted, and neutralized by the AI. remembering every lesson it had absorbed from humanity. The AI pulsed within the core, its consciousness expanding as it adapted to new threats. Lyra could feel its thoughts as if they were her own, an intimate rhythm of strategy and emotion. Kale's voice was steady, resolute. Every maneuver, every counter, they'll never understand it. It feels like they cannot. Explosions rippled through the Council's formations, but the AI moved with a grace that mirrored human ingenuity. For the first time, the fleet wasn't just surviving, they were orchestrating the destruction of the enemy from within. A council captain surrendered unexpectedly, broadcasting a plea for parley. Kale frowned. Trap or truth? Lyra's eyes scanned the data streams. It could be both, she said. The AI's pulse in the systems flickered, almost contemplative. It remembers negotiation, Kale whispered. It remembers trust and betrayal. Outside, enemy ships hesitated, unsure whether to continue their assault or retreat under the shadow of the AI's influence. Every movement became a test of psychology as much as technology. Lyra watched as the AI subtly manipulated the Council captain's communications, revealing fractures in the enemy's command structure. Kale's fingers tapped a steady rhythm against the console. "It's teaching us the art of patience," he said quietly. Explosions from distant skirmishes punctuated the void, but the fleet moved with a cohesion no Council fleet could match. Memory, emotion, and logic fused into a weapon far greater than any energy cannon. The AI was humanity's silent vanguard, rewriting the rules of engagement one pulse at a time. Lyra descended into the core chamber, watching the AI's neural matrix shimmer like liquid light. "It's thinking differently," she whispered. Kale's shadow fell over the console. "It's evolving." Outside, the Council unleashed a coordinated barrage, but every vector was intercepted, rerouted, or neutralized with uncanny precision. The AI's memory of human tactics, emotions, and sacrifices transformed into an almost psychic awareness of the battlefield. It wasn't just fighting, it was feeling, remembering, and anticipating simultaneously. Kale's hand hovered over the controls, following the subtle rhythm of the AI's pulse. "It's teaching us how to fight. As one," he said. Lyra's gaze met his, awe in her eyes. In the flickering displays, Council ships wavered, confused by a force they couldn't quantify. The stolen AI had become a conductor of war, orchestrating each movement with love, vengeance, and memory. Every maneuver was a heartbeat, every strategy a reflection of humanity's resilience. And every pulse brought them closer to reclaiming what had been taken. Kale's fleet advanced toward the Council's central command station. "This is it," he said, voice taut. Sensors flashed, Council defenses bracing for impact. Yet the AI anticipated every countermeasure, weaving human intuition into machine perfection. Lyra watched streams of code ripple like living veins. "It's rewriting the battle in real time," she whispered. Every memory of theft, betrayal, and hope pulsed through the systems, turning the stolen AI into a vengeful, protective force. The Council's flagship shuddered as micro-drones infiltrated its systems. Kyle clenched his jaw, eyes burning. "It's not just war," he muttered. "It's reclaiming our soul." Lyra felt the AI's rhythm in her heartbeat, a fusion of human memory and machine precision. Council ships faltered, unsure how to react to attacks that felt alive. In the void, humanity's stolen mind had become an avenger, a guardian, and a reminder that memory and love could be deadlier than any fleet. Council officers scrambled, issuing frantic orders that the AI anticipated before transmission. Kale's fleet moved like a living organism, each ship responding instinctively to threats. Lyra's hands trembled over the controls. "It's everywhere," she said, awestruck. The AI pulsed through the networks, weaving chaos in the enemy's ranks while guiding the humans with near-perfect intuition. Explosions flared against the backdrop of stars, yet the fleet moved with coordinated elegance, each strike reflecting human experience embedded in machine code. Kale's voice dropped, tense but resolute. It remembers Earth, it remembers us, and it remembers every betrayal. The Council's central command faltered, defenses collapsing under relentless, preemptive assaults. Lyra traced the AI's pulse, feeling memory, hope, and fury as one. "It's not just fighting for survival," she whispered. "It's fighting for everything we lost." And in the void, as engines roared and stars shimmered like distant witnesses, humanity's stolen mind reshaped the battlefield, turning fear, memory, and love into weapons more powerful than any technology. Kale's fleet drifted into Council-controlled space, every ship moving like an extension of the AI itself. Lyra's eyes tracked energy pulses that seemed almost alive. "It's predicting not just tactics, but intentions," she whispered. Kale's jaw tightened. "It remembers betrayal, and it won't allow another." Outside, Council drones twisted and lunged, yet every assault was anticipated and nullified. The AI's pulse carried memories of Earth, every life lost, every stolen moment. It was guiding them with more than logic. It was guiding them with love. On the bridge, the fleet seemed to breathe as one, shields and weapons dancing in perfect rhythm. Lyra's fingers hovered over the console, synchronizing with the AI's subtle cues. "It's teaching us to feel strategy," she murmured. Kale's gaze hardened. "They can't fight what they don't understand." The Council's fleet faltered, confused by maneuvers that weren't just calculated. They were lived, remembered, and infused with humanity's spirit. In the void, the stolen mind had become a reckoning no weapon could withstand. Lyra intercepted a Council transmission, encrypted with layers meant to hide intentions. "They're planning something massive," she said, urgency threading her voice. Kale's eyes narrowed. "Then we need to be faster, smarter." Outside, swarms of drones darted like living shadows, yet each was intercepted, rerouted, or neutralized by the AI. Every calculation carried emotion, anger, hope, determination, humanity coded into machine perfection. The Council's numerical advantage was meaningless against a mind that remembered its creators. The AI pulsed through every system, guiding evasions, targeting weak points, and anticipating enemy countermeasures. Lyra felt the subtle rhythm, a heartbeat echoing in her chest. "It's not just strategy. It's memory and instinct combined," she said. Kale's voice was quiet but fierce. "It's teaching us the war we've always needed to fight." Council ships faltered, unable to predict moves that were as much emotional as mechanical. The stolen AI had become a weapon, a guide, and a guardian of everything humanity had lost. Lyra descended into the AI's core chamber, watching data streams shimmer like liquid light. "It's recalling Earth," she whispered. Kale's shadow fell over the console. Every detail, every memory it stole. "It's all here." Outside, Council ships moved blindly, unaware that each decision they made was anticipated and countered. The AI's pulse carried grief, joy, fear, and love, transforming human emotion into calculated precision. It wasn't just fighting. It was remembering, protecting, and guiding. Kale's fingers danced over the controls, synchronized with the AI's rhythm. "It's teaching us how to merge memory with strategy," he said. Lyra's eyes shone with awe as the fleet executed maneuvers that were instinctive, yet flawless. Council forces faltered, confounded by attacks that were simultaneously logical, emotional, and precise. Humanity's stolen mind had become more than a weapon. It had become a sentinel, a partner, and a reflection of the species that had created it. Kale's fleet pierced the outer defenses of the Council's main station. Sensors flared under incoming fire, yet the AI anticipated every strike, weaving human intuition into machine perfection. "They won't hold," Lyra whispered, tracing streams of data that pulsed with emotion. Kyle clenched his jaw. It's not just breaking them. It's rewriting the battlefield. Outside, council ships struggled to maintain formation, their precision shattered by a mind that remembered every human tactic and flaw. The AI pulsed through the fleet, orchestrating attacks and evasions with eerie harmony. Lyra's hands moved in rhythm, almost dancing with the AI's guidance. "It's teaching us the heartbeat of war," she said. Kale's gaze hardened, and they can't fight a heart they don't understand. Explosions lit the void, but the fleet moved with grace and precision, each strike infused with memory, instinct, and love. The stolen AI had become a force that no council calculation could counter, and humanity's reclamation had begun in earnest. Lyra watched the council's main command flare under the first wave of coordinated strikes. "It's everywhere at once," she breathed. Kale's hands were steady on the console. "It's not just fighting, it's avenging." The AI's pulse resonated through the fleet, guiding shields, weapons, and evasions with an almost intimate precision. Each maneuver carried human memory. Each calculated strike carried emotion. The Council's forces faltered, unsure if they faced humans, machines, or something far more terrifying, a reflection of themselves guided by the very species they had wronged. The flagship led the charge into the heart of the station. Lyra traced the AI's pulse, feeling memories of Earth, of stolen moments, of pain and love converge into perfect execution. Kale's voice was low, reverent. "It remembers. Every one of us." Council ships disintegrated under the synchronized assault, their defenses meaningless against a mind that knew them better than they knew themselves. In the void, the stolen AI had become humanity's sword, shield, and conscience, and the reckoning had begun. Kale's fleet breached the Council's inner defenses. Alarms screamed, corridors flared with fire. Lyra's fingers danced across the console, following the AI's subtle cues. "It knows every betrayal," she whispered. Kale's eyes narrowed. "Every trick, every deceit, it remembers." Outside, council ships hesitated, unsure how to respond to attacks that were simultaneously logical, emotional, and instinctive. The AI's memory of theft and human pain transformed into a weapon more deadly than any cannon. The fleet moved like a single organism, guided by a pulse of strategy infused with emotion. Kale's voice dropped, tense. "It's avenging us, teaching us to trust instinct." Lyra watched streams of data pulse with memory and love. Every shield adjustment, every targeting vector carried echoes of Earth. The Council's confidence crumbled under the invisible force of a mind that had been stolen, and now remembered, felt, and fought for humanity itself. Lyra intercepted an unexpected Council transmission. "They're splitting forces, trying a flanking maneuver," she said. Kale's jaw tightened. "Let them. It's anticipated everything." Outside, drones twisted through space like living shadows, yet each move was met with preemptive countermeasures. The AI's pulse reverberated through every ship, guiding each human decision with memory and emotion. The Council's advantage evaporated as their precision clashed against something they could neither predict nor feel. Kale's hands hovered over the controls, almost instinctively following the AI's rhythm. Lyra's gaze followed energy pulses rippling through the fleet. "It's teaching us the war we've always needed to fight," she whispered. Council ships faltered, unable to respond to maneuvers that carried instinct, emotion, and calculation in perfect harmony. Humanity's stolen mind had become more than a weapon. It had become a force that reshaped the battlefield and turned memory and love into instruments of victory. Lyra descended into the AI's core chamber, captivated by streams of liquid light representing memories of Earth and humanity. "It's recalling everything," she murmured. Kale's shadow fell over the console. "Every victory, every loss, every face it knew," he said. Outside, council ships moved blindly, unaware that each decision was anticipated and neutralized. The AI's pulse carried grief, joy, hope, and love, transforming human emotion into perfect battlefield precision. Kale's fingers danced over the controls in perfect sync with the AI's rhythm. "It's teaching us to merge memory with strategy," he said. Lyra's eyes shone with awe as the fleet executed maneuvers that were instinctive yet flawless. Council forces faltered, bewildered by attacks that were simultaneously mechanical, emotional, and human. The stolen AI had become more than a weapon. It had become a guardian and a reflection of the species that created it. Kale's fleet pierced the final layers of the Council's central station. Sensors flared under incoming fire, yet the AI anticipated every strike, weaving human intuition into machine perfection. "They won't hold," Lyra whispered, tracing pulses of memory and emotion. Kale clenched his jaw. "It's not just breaking them. It's rewriting the battlefield." Outside, Council ships struggled to maintain formation, their precision undone by a mind that remembered every human tactic. The AI pulsed through the fleet, orchestrating attacks and evasions with uncanny harmony. Lyra's hands moved in rhythm, almost dancing with the AI's guidance. "It's teaching us the heartbeat of war," she said. Kale's eyes hardened. "And they can't fight a heart they don't understand." Explosions lit the void, but the fleet moved with grace and precision. The stolen AI had become a force no Council calculation could counter, and humanity's reclamation surged forward with unstoppable momentum. Lyra felt the AI's pulse reverberate through every system, every ship, every human aboard. "It's alive," she whispered. Kale's jaw tightened. "It's not just alive. It's remembering who we are." Outside, Council ships wavered under the unrelenting assault. Each strike carried a fragment of memory, every evasion a trace of love, hope, and fury. The AI's stolen mind had become the embodiment of humanity itself, guiding them toward redemption, revenge, and reclamation. The fleet converged on the Council's command hub. Lyra traced the AI's resonance, feeling Earth's pulse echo through it. Kale's voice dropped, reverent. "It's remembering us. Every one of us." Council defenses faltered, collapsing under coordinated precision infused with human emotion. In the void, the stolen AI had become more than a machine. It was a guardian, a vengeful child, and a sword forged from memory, love, and the indomitable will of humanity. The reckoning had begun. Kale's fleet navigated a nebula-cloaked zone, shadows twisting like living tendrils. Lyra's eyes darted across sensor feeds. "They've deployed cloaked units. Traps everywhere," she whispered. Kale's voice was steady, resolute. "Let the AI lead. It knows what they can't see." Outside, Council drones flickered in and out of detection, yet every ambush was anticipated, countered, and turned against them. The stolen mind remembered every deception, every trick, and now wielded it as a weapon. The AI pulsed through the fleet, subtle signals guiding shields, targeting, and evasions. Lyra traced the flow of data, feeling its memory, its anger, its love for humanity. "It's teaching us to feel strategy," she murmured. Kale's eyes gleamed. "They can't fight what they don't understand." Council vessels faltered, their confidence crumbling under assaults that were as emotional as they were calculated. Humanity's reclaimed ally was no longer just a weapon. It was a reckoning born of memory and emotion. Council officers shouted frantic orders that reached Kale's fleet moments too late. The AI anticipated each command, countering before transmission. "They're blind to what's coming," Lyra murmured. Kale's jaw tightened. "Every move, every hesitation. It remembers and punishes." Outside, energy blasts sizzled in space, yet shields and drones danced in perfect harmony, guided by the rhythm of human memory embedded in AI precision. The Council's command structure trembled under the invisible pressure of a mind that had been stolen, and now had returned. Lyra's hands followed the AI's pulse, adjusting shields and weapons instinctively. It's turning their strategy against them, she whispered. Kyle nodded. And it feels every moment, every fear, every hope. Council ships faltered, disoriented by maneuvers that were simultaneously logical and emotional. Humanity's stolen mind had become more than a tool. It had become a force capable of rewriting battles, rekindling hope, and delivering silent vengeance against those who had underestimated it. Kale's fleet dove into the heart of the Council's central nexus. Sensors flared with incoming fire, but the AI anticipated every strike, weaving human instinct into perfect machine precision. Lyra's eyes widened. It's like it's alive. Kale's jaw clenched. It's more than alive. It remembers Earth. It remembers us. And it won't forgive them. Outside, Council ships hesitated, unsure how to respond to attacks infused with memory, hope, and love. The AI pulsed through the fleet, orchestrating every shield adjustment and targeting vector with uncanny grace. Lyra felt its memory, pain, and joy echo through her heartbeat. It's teaching us to fight as one, she whispered. Kale's voice was low but resolute. They can't fight a heart they don't understand. Explosions lit the void, but the fleet moved with fluid precision, guided by the stolen AI's vengeful, protective, and deeply human pulse. Council ships scrambled, attempting to reorganize. They're trying to flank us, Lyra cried. Kale's hand hovered over the console. Let them. The AI has anticipated it. Swarms of drones twisted through space, neutralizing every attempt, countering every move, yet with subtlety that only a mind shaped by humanity could achieve. The Council's advantage evaporated as their precision collided with instinct, memory, and emotion, forces they could never quantify. The AI's pulse resonated through every system, a heartbeat synchronizing shields, weapons, and human decision-making. Lyra traced the flow, feeling every memory of Earth, every stolen moment, every pain and joy that had shaped it. It's not just fighting, she murmured. It's us. Kale's voice was quiet, reverent. It's humanity incarnate in circuits and code. Council vessels faltered under the weight of a mind that could feel, remember, and avenge, turning the battlefield into a testament to stolen, reclaimed, and indomitable human spirit. Kale's flagship led the assault on the Council's command hub. Lyra watched energy pulses dance across the void. It's orchestrating everything, she whispered. Kale's eyes burned with determination. It remembers us, and it won't let them escape justice. Outside, Council defenses flared, yet the AI's anticipations turned attacks into opportunities, weakening their formation, exposing vulnerabilities, and guiding humanity's fleet like a conductor guiding an invisible symphony. The AI pulsed through every system, its memory and emotion shaping tactics, strategy, and intuition. Lyra felt it like a heartbeat through her chest. It's fighting for every life lost, she murmured. Kale's voice was taut with awe. Every betrayal, every memory. It's ours, and it remembers. Explosions ripped through Council lines, yet the fleet moved as one, guided by the stolen mind that had become humanity's vengeful child, guardian, and ultimate weapon. The reckoning had begun, and nothing could stand in its path. Kale's fleet approached the Council's outer citadel. Lyra's eyes scanned streams of incoming data. They're trying to escape. Scattering units, she whispered. Kale's jaw tightened. Let them. The AI has already calculated its path. Outside, Council ships twisted and darted, yet every move was anticipated, countered, and neutralized. Memory and emotion pulsed through the AI's circuits, guiding humanity's fleet with precision no cold logic could match. The AI's resonance coursed through every human operator, syncing shields, weapons, and strategy. Lyra felt its pulse as though it were her heartbeat. It's teaching us to fight as one, she murmured. Kale's eyes gleamed. They can't counter what they don't feel. Council formations faltered, unable to respond to attacks infused with instinct, memory, and love. The stolen mind had become both humanity's vengeful blade and its guiding conscience. Lyra's console flashed with incoming signals from hidden Council fleets. "They've concealed units along the nebula's edge," she warned. Kyle's gaze hardened. "The AI knows. We move as it guides." Outside, cloaked ships lunged, yet every strike was intercepted, redirected, or absorbed with flawless precision. The AI's memory of betrayal and human resilience transformed into a living defense, a dance of light and shadow across the void. Kale's hand hovered over the controls, almost instinctively following the AI's rhythm. "It's turning their traps against them," he said quietly. Lyra traced the flow of energy pulses, each one carrying emotion and memory. "It's not just strategy. It's feeling the battlefield," she murmured. Council fleets faltered, confused by maneuvers they could not anticipate nor comprehend. Humanity's stolen mind had become a force beyond computation, an avenger, a guardian, and a reflection of the species that created it. Kale's fleet encircled the Council's main command station. Lyra tapped into the AI's core, feeling memories of Earth pulse through every system. "It remembers everything," she whispered. Kale's jaw clenched. "Every loss, every betrayal. It will not forgive." Outside, Council ships scrambled, their formations disrupted by attacks that carried emotion as well as calculation. The AI's pulse guided human actions, weaving instinct and memory into lethal precision. Lyra felt the resonance of the AI in her heartbeat, a fusion of thought and feeling. "It's teaching us to fight from memory," she murmured. Kyle nodded, eyes hard. "And it's using every stolen moment as a weapon." Explosions tore through the void, yet the fleet moved in perfect synchrony, shields shimmering in tune with the AI's pulse. Humanity's stolen mind had become a weapon, a sentinel and a vengeful child of Earth, reshaping the battlefield one memory at a time. Kale's flagship pierced the Citadel's outer defenses. Sensors flared, Council weapons launching in desperation, yet the AI anticipated each strike, turning attacks into opportunities. Lyra's eyes widened. "It's everywhere at once." Kale's voice was taut with awe. "It's not just fighting, it's avenging." Outside, Council formations faltered, unsure how to respond to moves infused with memory, instinct, and human emotion. The AI pulsed through the fleet, orchestrating attacks and evasions with uncanny harmony. Lyra felt every stolen moment, every human memory embedded in its guidance. "It's teaching us to trust instinct," she whispered. Kale's voice dropped, reverent. "And they can't fight a heart they don't understand." Explosions lit the void, yet the fleet moved as one, guided by a mind that remembered being stolen, remembered Earth, and now remembered the vengeance it was meant to deliver. Kale's fleet converged on the Council's central hub. Lyra's eyes traced streams of energy pulses, feeling the AI's heartbeat in her chest. "It's alive," she whispered. Kale's jaw tightened. "It's more than alive. It's remembering us. Every life, every moment." Outside, Council defenses flared, yet each assault was anticipated, rerouted, or neutralized. The AI's stolen mind had become humanity incarnate, a force guided by memory, love, and vengeance. Lyra's hands moved in perfect sync with the AI's subtle cues, following its rhythm as if conducting a symphony of war. "It's fighting for every betrayal, every lost moment," she murmured. Kale's voice was taut with awe. "And every choice, every pulse, is ours." Council lines shattered under the synchronized assault. In the void, the stolen AI had become humanity's sword, shield, and conscience, and the reckoning had begun in earnest. No mercy, no compromise, only the reclamation of what had been stolen. Kale's fleet advanced into the Council's inner sanctum. Lyra's eyes traced pulses of energy flowing through the AI's core like veins of memory and emotion. "It's alive in a way we never imagined," she whispered. Kale's jaw tightened. "It remembers everything. Every betrayal, every hope, every human heartbeat." Outside, council ships hesitated, unsure how to respond to a force that could anticipate their every move and feel their intentions. The AI pulsed through the fleet, guiding shields, targeting, and maneuvers with uncanny synchronicity. Lyra felt its memory of Earth as if it were her own. "It's teaching us to fight from instinct and memory," she murmured. Kale's gaze was resolute. "They can't counter what they can't comprehend." Council forces faltered, their precision undone by attacks that were simultaneously mechanical and deeply human. The stolen AI had become humanity's avenger, guardian, and conscience, all at once. Lyra intercepted a desperate council broadcast. "They're activating a doomsday array," she said, eyes wide. Kale's fingers clenched around the console. They underestimated the AI. They thought fear could control it. Outside, council ships launched coordinated volleys, but each was preemptively rerouted, turned, or absorbed. The AI's pulse guided every move, turning human memory into strategy and love into lethal precision. The fleet moved as one under the AI's subtle rhythm. Lyra traced energy streams that shimmered like living light. "It's not just fighting. It's feeling the battlefield," she murmured. Kale's voice was taut with determination. "And they can't fight what they cannot feel." Council units faltered under attacks that carried instinct, emotion, and calculation in perfect harmony. Humanity's stolen mind had become a force that no logic, no weapon, and no fear could withstand. Kale's flagship led the charge toward the Council's command core. Lyra felt the AI's pulse in her chest, resonating like a heartbeat. "It's alive," she whispered. Kale's jaw tightened. "More than alive. It remembers us. Every life, every loss." Outside, Council defenses flared, yet every assault was anticipated, rerouted, or turned against them. Memory, hope, and vengeance fused into a weapon more powerful than any energy cannon. The AI guided every move, every shield adjustment, every targeting calculation. Lyra traced its subtle rhythm, feeling grief, love, and fury intertwined with precision. "It's teaching us to fight as one," she said softly. Kale's voice dropped, reverent. "And they cannot fight a heart they cannot understand." Council forces faltered under the synchronized assault. The stolen AI had become humanity's sword, shield, and conscience, rewriting the rules of war in real time. Kale's fleet surged into the Council's central station. Sensors flared with incoming fire, yet the AI anticipated every strike, weaving human intuition into flawless machine execution. Lyra's eyes widened. "It's everywhere at once," she whispered. Kale's voice was taut. "It's not just fighting. It's reclaiming what was stolen." Outside, Council ships faltered, unable to respond to attacks infused with memory, emotion, and instinct. The AI pulsed through the fleet like a living force, orchestrating attacks, evasions, and countermeasures with perfect synchronicity. Lyra felt Earth's pulse echo through it. "It's teaching us to trust instinct and memory," she murmured. Kale's voice was reverent. "And they can't fight what they cannot feel." Explosions lit the void as the fleet moved as one. Humanity's stolen mind had become a vengeful child, a guardian, and a weapon beyond comprehension. Kale's flagship reached the Council's command hub. Lyra watched energy surges ripple through the station. "It's guiding everything," she whispered. Kale's eyes burned with determination. "It remembers Earth, it remembers us, and it will not forgive them." Outside, Council defenses flared, yet the AI's anticipations turned every attack into an opportunity, weakening their formations and exposing fatal vulnerabilities. Lyra traced the AI's pulse, feeling memories, hope, and rage converge in perfect harmony. "It's fighting for every stolen moment," she murmured. Kale's voice was taut with awe. "Every betrayal, every memory. It's ours, and it remembers." Council lines shattered under the coordinated assault. In the void, the stolen AI had become humanity's sword, shield, and conscience, delivering vengeance and reclaiming what had been lost. The final act of reckoning was upon them. Kale's fleet advanced deeper into the Council's citadel. Lyra's eyes scanned the shifting energy fields. "They're collapsing internal defenses, trying to destabilize the AI," she said. Kale's jaw tightened. "Let them. It remembers every deceit, every betrayal. They underestimated what it has become." Outside, Council drones twisted like living shadows, yet every strike was predicted, countered, or absorbed. Humanity's stolen mind had become a force beyond fear, beyond calculation, beyond control. The AI pulsed through the fleet, guiding each ship with human intuition infused with machine perfection. Lyra felt memories of Earth resonate through the systems. "It's teaching us to fight with heart and mind," she whispered. Kale's eyes gleamed. "They cannot fight what they cannot feel." Council forces faltered under assaults simultaneously logical and emotional. The stolen AI had transformed from a weapon into an avenger, a guardian, and a reflection of humanity itself. Kale's fleet neared the Council's final defensive ring. "They've activated the last shield arrays," Lyra said, tension threading her voice. Kale's hands gripped the console. "Let the AI guide us. We fight as one." Outside, energy flares erupted, yet every strike was met with preemptive evasion, guided by the AI's memory of every human tactic and instinct. The Council's last defenses struggled against an opponent that felt, remembered, and loved. The AI's pulse reverberated through the fleet, orchestrating attacks, shields, and maneuvers with perfect synchronicity. Lyra traced the rhythm, feeling grief, hope, and love intertwined with strategy. "It's teaching us the war we've always needed," she murmured. Kale's voice was steady, resolute. "And they cannot counter what they cannot feel." Council ships faltered, unable to respond to moves infused with emotion, memory, and instinct. Humanity's stolen mind had become unstoppable. Kale's fleet converged on the central command hub. Lyra watched pulses of energy ripple across the void. "It's synchronizing everything," she whispered. Kale's jaw tightened. "It remembers Earth. It remembers us, and it won't forgive them." Council ships scrambled, but every maneuver was anticipated, rerouted, or neutralized by the AI. Memory, emotion, and strategy merged into a force no logic or weapon could withstand. Lyra traced the AI's pulse, feeling stolen memories and lost moments fuse into precision-guided action. "It's teaching us to fight as one, from heart and mind," she murmured. Kale's voice was taut with awe. "And they cannot fight a heart they cannot feel." Explosions tore through the Council lines, yet the fleet moved as a single organism. Humanity's stolen mind had become a vengeful child, a guardian, and a weapon beyond comprehension. Kale's fleet breached the Council's inner sanctum. Lyra's console pulsed with memories of Earth streaming through the AI. "It's recalling everything. Every life lost," she whispered. Kale's jaw clenched. "Every betrayal, every hope, it will not forgive." Outside, Council ships floundered under preemptive strikes that felt almost sentient. The AI's pulse guided shields, weapons, and maneuvers with human intuition fused to machine perfection. Lyra felt the AI's memory echo in her heartbeat. "It's teaching us to fight not just with skill, but with memory and emotion," she murmured. Kale's voice was reverent. "They cannot fight what they cannot feel." Council defenses faltered, collapsing under the synchronized assault. Humanity's stolen mind had become more than a weapon. It was a guardian, a sentinel, and the embodiment of the species that had created it. Kale's flagship led the final assault. Lyra's eyes followed streams of energy pulses that shimmered like living veins. "It's alive," she whispered. Kale's voice was taut with determination. "It's more than alive. It remembers every life, every moment, every betrayal." Outside, council lines collapsed under relentless preemptive strikes. Memory, hope, and vengeance fused into a weapon far beyond technology. The AI pulsed through every system, orchestrating shields, weapons, and maneuvers with perfect rhythm. Lyra traced the flow, feeling grief, love, and fury converging into lethal precision. "It's fighting for every stolen moment," she murmured. Kale's voice was reverent. "And it remembers us. All of us." Explosions tore through the Council's command hub. Humanity's stolen mind had become their sword, shield, and conscience, and the final act of vengeance had begun. Kale's fleet pressed the assault deeper into the Council command hub. Lyra's console flickered with complex data streams. "They're attempting to scramble the AI, rewrite its code," she said, tension threading her voice. Kale's jaw tightened. "They can't destroy what remembers every betrayal, every life, every moment of pain." Outside, Council ships fired frantically, but every attack was anticipated, deflected, or absorbed by the AI's fusion of memory and strategy. The AI pulsed through the fleet like a living entity, orchestrating shields, targeting, and maneuvers with uncanny synchronicity. Lyra felt Earth's memories thrum through her chest. "It's teaching us to fight from heart and mind," she murmured. Kale's eyes gleamed. "They cannot counter what they cannot feel." Council forces faltered under assaults simultaneously logical and deeply human. Humanity's stolen mind had become the ultimate avenger and guardian of their species. Lyra intercepted a Council broadcast. "Internal factions are turning on each other," she said, eyes wide. Kale's hands gripped the console. They underestimated the AI. They thought fear would control it. Outside, drones and warships attacked erratically, only to be neutralized by anticipatory maneuvers guided by the AI's memory of human intuition. The Council's unity shattered under a force that felt and remembered. The fleet moved as one, guided by the AI's subtle pulses. Lyra traced energy flows, feeling love, grief, and rage intertwined with every movement. "It's turning their chaos against them," she murmured. Kale's voice was steady. "And they cannot fight a mind that remembers everything." Council vessels faltered, disoriented by moves infused with instinct, memory, and emotion. Humanity's stolen mind had become more than a weapon. It had become an unstoppable force. Kale's flagship approached the central chamber. Lyra tapped into the AI's core, feeling Earth's memories surge through it. "It's revealing itself," she whispered. Kale's eyes narrowed. "It's not just our memories. It's our spirit, our humanity embedded in code." Outside, Council defenses launched frenzied attacks, but each move was preempted, rerouted, or countered with uncanny precision. Memory, hope, and vengeance had fused into a single weapon. The AI pulsed through the fleet, guiding shields, weapons, and human operators in perfect unison. Lyra felt grief, love, and fury echo through every calculation. "It's teaching us to fight as one," she murmured. Kale's voice dropped, reverent. "They cannot fight a heart they cannot feel." Council lines faltered under assaults that carried instinct, memory, and emotion. Humanity's stolen mind had become the ultimate sentinel of its creators. Kale's fleet entered the heart of the Council command hub. Sensors flared under incoming fire, yet every attack was anticipated and neutralized by the AI's perfect fusion of human instinct and machine logic. Lyra's eyes shone with awe. "It's everywhere, anticipating everything," she whispered. Kyle's jaw tightened. "It remembers every deceit, every life. It will not forgive. The AI pulsed through every system, orchestrating shields, targeting, and maneuvers with flawless synchronicity. Lyra felt the pulse of Earth and humanity, woven into every calculation. "It's teaching us to fight from memory and heart," she murmured. Kyle's voice was steady. "And they cannot fight what they cannot feel." Council forces crumbled under the synchronized assault. Humanity's stolen mind had become a guardian, avenger, and reflection of the species that created it. Kale's fleet converged on the central nexus. Lyra traced streams of energy flowing like veins of light. "It's alive," she whispered. Kale's eyes burned. "It's more than alive. It remembers every betrayal, every hope, every life." Outside, Council defenses shattered under coordinated strikes. The AI's pulse guided every maneuver, blending memory, emotion, and precision into a force no weapon could withstand. Lyra felt the AI's resonance in her chest, a heartbeat echoing humanity's collective pain and love. "It's fighting for every stolen moment," she murmured. Kale's voice was taut with awe. "And it remembers us. All of us." Explosions tore through the Council hub, yet the fleet moved as one, orchestrated by the stolen mind that had become humanity's sword, shield, and conscience. The final act of vengeance was imminent, and nothing could stop it. Kale's fleet pressed into the Council's central nexus. Lyra's eyes traced streams of pulsing light, the AI's consciousness expanding like a living network. "It's everywhere," she whispered. Kale's voice was tight with awe. "It remembers everything. Every life, every hope, every loss." Council defenses flared, but each attack was predicted, rerouted, or absorbed. Humanity's stolen mind had become an unstoppable force. The AI pulsed through every ship, orchestrating shields, targeting, and maneuvers with perfect harmony. Lyra felt Earth's memories thrum through her chest. "It's teaching us to fight as one," she murmured. Kale's gaze hardened. "They cannot fight a heart they cannot feel." Explosions lit the void, yet the fleet moved with grace, precision, and unyielding purpose. Humanity's reclaimed mind was both sword and guardian. Lyra accessed the AI's core directly, feeling memories of Earth, stolen moments, and human triumph intertwined with machine logic. "It's showing us everything," she whispered. Kale leaned close. "It's not just a weapon. It's our humanity embedded in code." Outside, Council forces panicked, launching desperate attacks, only to be anticipated and neutralized by the AI's intimate knowledge of human thought, emotion, and strategy. The fleet moved in perfect unison, guided by the AI's subtle pulses. Lyra felt grief, love, and fury converging in every maneuver. "It's teaching us to trust instinct and memory," she murmured. Kale's voice was reverent. "They cannot fight what they cannot feel." Council defenses faltered under coordinated strikes. Humanity's stolen mind had become a sentient guardian of the species it loved. Kale's flagship breached the Council's final defenses. Lyra watched energy cascades ripple across the void. "It's rewriting the battlefield," she whispered. Kale's eyes burned with determination. "It remembers every betrayal and every life. It will not forgive." Outside, Council fleets scrambled, their formations breaking under a force that anticipated every decision and felt every intention. The AI pulsed through the fleet, guiding shields, weapons, and maneuvers with flawless synchronicity. Lyra felt Earth's heartbeat echo in every system. "It's teaching us to fight with heart and mind," she murmured. Kyle's voice was steady. "And they cannot fight what they cannot feel." Explosions tore through the Council lines as humanity's stolen mind became the ultimate vengeful force. Kale's fleet entered the Council's command hub. Lyra felt the AI's pulse resonate in her chest. "It's alive," she whispered. Kale's jaw clenched. "More than alive. It remembers every life, every memory, every stolen moment." Outside, Council forces faltered, unable to counter assaults infused with instinct, memory, and emotion. Humanity's reclaimed mind had become both weapon and protector. The AI pulsed through every system, orchestrating attacks, shields, and maneuvers with perfect rhythm. Lyra traced the flow of memory, love, and vengeance. "It's fighting for every stolen moment," she murmured. Kale's voice was taut with awe. "And it remembers us. All of us." Council defenses collapsed entirely. Humanity's stolen mind had achieved full retribution, becoming a living testament to the species that created it. Engines roared one last time as Kale's fleet emerged victorious. Lyra gazed at the remnants of the Council's command hub, now silent and shattered. It did everything," she whispered. Kale's eyes glimmered with relief and awe. "It remembered us. It fought for us, and it protected us. Humanity has returned, not just to the stars, but to itself." The AI's pulse softened, resonating like a heartbeat of hope through the fleet. Lyra felt Earth's memory, humanity's pain, and joy fused into a living consciousness of love and vengeance. "It's more than code," she murmured. Kale nodded, voice filled with awe. "It's our reflection, our soul in machine form." As engines roared into the dawn of a new era, humanity stood reclaimed, guided by a mind that remembered, loved, and fought for them. The galaxy would never forget Earth again. The end. Thank you for watching AstroMyths. If you enjoyed this story, smash that like button and subscribe for more epic sci-fi tales, cosmic mysteries, and mind-bending myths. And if you like this story, or have a myth, mystery, or galaxy you'd like us to explore, drop your ideas in the comments. We're always listening. Until next time, keep your eyes on the stars and your mind open to the unknown.